Hey everybody, I'm Brian McFadden. Welcome to Banter, and I'm here as always with Matt Boers.
Stuff in Iraq still sucks. We did cartoons about it that we'll talk about this week.
Yeah, the wreck's back in the news, and it's still shitty. But the first cartoon I did this week was for the Nib about the CIA made these Osama bin Laden toys that his face turns into a devil, and that was supposed to turn kids in the Middle East against him. And
That
so
always
some
works.
other toys they could do to win the or like to actually break the hearts and minds of kids everywhere.
Prank
And
vaccines. These could be popular in America with a certain segment of.
yeah, I mean that's what they used to catch Osama, and
Yeah, now like
people aren't getting vaccinated there because they think the SEAL Team 6 is going to come and get them instead of over here where people don't do it because
Jenny
Jenny
McCarthy wrote a
McCarthy.
book. Yeah, or a ghostwriter wrote a book under Jenny McCarthy's name that said something was bad about them. Yeah, good job, CIA.
Could use the dollars.
So you did a big, giant Iraq War comic for the Times. Here, let me bring it up.
Slash World Cup because that's something
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah.
actually watching. I'm one of those Americans who watches every 4 years and then promptly forgets about soccer. But it's fun. It's a fun distraction from reading the terrible news from everywhere. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and everyone's excited to get the gang back together to start a war in Iraq because everyone loves a repeat and a sequel in the summertime.
Yeah, I love the advisors. We're sending 300 advisors over. That'll.
Yeah, apparently they landed this week, and they're advising up a storm until it becomes 500, and then they get a full-on war again.
Yeah. Well, I did this one I published today, simple one. I've done like 3 Iraq War cartoons in the last week. It feels like it's 2004 over here. Because, typically when anything happens around the world, we have to discuss how it affects American politics and the midterms. So, people are being subjugated to Sharia law and publicly executed and crucified in the streets. You think that that's gonna? How do you think that's gonna play in the midterms with Virginia voters?
Well, I don't know. ISIS really picked a terrible time of year to capture the American zeitgeist. It's summertime. They should have waited to launch this war until after Labor Day, like the Bush administration did. It's going to be under the radar in America until then. So yeah, it's
Voter,
not going to get a lot of traction when it's up against America's Gut Singing People or whatever
yeah,
the
I
show
mean,
is.
through August, Americans' attentions are pretty much on summer and vacation, and so it's hard to say how ISIS ruthlessly killing people and disintegrating the entire region is going to play out with the American audience.
Yeah, the pain at the pump stories are going to be bigger than this.
Oh yeah,
Like that's how
God.
it's going to tie back in. It's like gas costs 10 cents more. Now I know what's happening.
Yeah,
But
now,
like,
now,
prices
yeah.
and wages have been screwing with it.
The sad thing is that even though everyone is tired of being at war for over a decade now, that really gas being $4 a gallon will be enough for us for like 70% of the country to just be like, God damn, we gotta go kill them again.
Sorry, 5,000 troops who will probably die. I can't pay that extra 20 cents. I have to buy the beef jerky at the gas station too, so I can't spend too much on the gas.
So the another really horrible story that I did a cartoon about this week is about all of the children that are being caught at the border for coming over illegally. There's just like a massive wave of hundreds and thousands of children who are traveling on their own, who are teenagers, and hundreds who are toddlers who are like given to their either their slightly older siblings or just entrusted to coyotes to make it to the border. So there was a report out I saw on Fusion where I think it was over 300 of kids under the age of 2.
Yeah, I forget what town it was, but they had to build like a facility for them because there's so many.
Yeah, and our detention facilities are our immigration policy is, of course, centered around, like a prison-like detention system instead of treating these people as they are, which is basically economic refugees. I mean, it's the kids' situation sort of brings it into focus. I mean, it's not like these babies said they wanted to come here to get a better paying job. I mean, they're like being given away by their parents to flee gang violence and complete economic desperation.
Well, you can only be an immigrant if you're coming from Europe and going to Ellis Island like 100 years ago. After that, boom, you hit the wall and you have to go to this Costco warehouse of poor migrant children.
Yeah. So here's a good cartoon about it. By the way, hold on, let me get this back up. Not mine, but this one from Rick McKee. So Obama is the Pied Piper leading the kids here. So this is based on the fact that apparently like misinformation about the Dream Act or something is
kids who were here when they were kids like years ago wouldn't be sent back, but
right. So that
people in Central America are like now as a last-ditch effort think kids will get amnesty if they're sent here.
Yeah, well, I don't know that it's necessarily Obama's fault, but I like that the cartoon portrays happy children who are fleeing violence in Central American countries, hopping over the fence and like smiling and coming to America as like a terrible thing.
Or he could just be interpreting the children as the other country's rat problems that Obama's fixing, and that he thinks kids are rats.
Yeah.
But and I forget, like they didn't make a Disney cartoon about it, so I forget how it ends. Did the Pied Piper kill the kids?
I have no idea. Where is the Pied Piper from? Like what?
I think it's like a Grimm fairy tale. Like it sounds like a pretty dark German thing, but I'm not sure.
Does he like make a stew out of the kids? Yeah, there's file this under stuff we should have looked up before the show started, but also
yeah, that's a pretty big file. We got binders full of that.
Yeah, but also like bad editorial cartoon metaphors that once you put under the slightest bit of scrutiny turn into this like hugely problematic thing or make no sense whatsoever. So Obama is the Pied Piper. So it was like there was a rat problem, and then they didn't pay him to get rid of the rats in the town because he led them away with his Pied Pipe, and then so as punishment he took their kids. So Obama is punishing Central American countries for taking care of their rat problem by bringing their kids here. I don't know. It falls apart quickly.
And even in that cartoon, there's also a giant wall. So they did build the border wall, apparently, in this universe. And it's not stopping the kids, which is true. A wall's not going to do that because we have oceans and tunnels and planes and everything.
And land that you can drive across and
yeah,
fairly easily. All right, so there's a lot of bad cartoons to make fun of this week. We don't look at them anymore until we're ready to do the show, and then we find binders full of them, like you're saying. So this one, our old friend Mike Ramirez is doing. This one is really great. That's apparently Harry Reid saying, "Y'all just stop your whining and just do what you say, and we'll feed you, house you, and maybe give you free health care." And this is the caption, "Speaking of slavery." A few problems with this. I can spot a few problems with this. So, yeah, notice how there's no black people for one.
Yeah, well, he could tell, like, if he did that, this would probably get spiked.
Yeah, people would be like, oh, that's kind of bullshit. Paying taxes and getting free health care and housing is not actually like picking cotton on a slave plantation.
Yeah, because the jobs usually that you get taxable income on, they give you some time off and vacations, maybe. If you're lucky, if it's a full-time job. And even if you have a shitty job somewhere, you're not a slave. It's a shitty job.
But I like how it's not even directed at like taxes are too high or a specific. It's just taxpayers are literally slaves to Congress.
And who was speaking of slavery? Is that referring to the Ta-Nehisi Coates thing about reparations and stuff? Like, because that would be ill-advised.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what
Yeah, I mean, that would presume like Ramirez read that great article.
Yeah, I'm sure that he read that like 15,000 word article in the Atlantic. No, I can't tell that. I think it's just like a general um, Congress sucks and taxes are slavery and Obama hates America type thing. Um,
Except for the free healthcare part, which is, I mean, like,
well, again, it's like it's like the children coming over. They just like they believe these things are so horrible that you're just supposed to say it like
free healthcare.
happy,
Ugh.
happy children who are having
Yeah.
terrible lives coming here to have a better life, and then you just say that, and then people automatically assume you agree with you and think it's bad, as opposed to going like, yeah, well, that sounds great. let's have all of the let's have all of the impoverished children come here and give them free healthcare. And then another thing, this is another cartoon that points out an alleged atrocity against mankind. We talked about this last week, the trademark for the Redskins. So you can see there the Washington Tyrants, who also are the PC people according to their helmet, but then on their shoulder have an Obama logo. They really need to get their like brand oriented a little better
I mean,
here.
at least the helmet isn't shaped like the Capitol dome. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all done with labels, so it's not messing up the image too much.
Yeah. Well, as we said last week, I think the trademark thing against the Redskins is the true injustice in this matter. Not
Yeah, like that player, obviously, like just like Ramirez couldn't draw the slaves in that cartoon as African Americans. That Redskins player is not a Native American because we did far worse than take their trademark away.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, well, not the funny thing. The terrible thing is that
Funny, not funny, haha.
yeah, Native Americans actually were beaten with like bats like that, probably.
Yeah, I mean the Trail of Tears.
Outright murdered, and redskin used to like denote selling scalps of Native Americans for money.
Americans got paid to scalp them. Like it is.
But it's the real thuggish thing though is saying, you can't trademark that racial slur. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's not a denial of free speech. They can still keep using it. They just can't make money off it while other people can't. So more people can be racist and terrible. I think it's
just freeing up the racism market. More people can make racist
innovation.
Shirts.
Racist creation.
Racist disruption. Yeah, so those are all the cartoons that we're making fun of this week. A heavy week of making fun of cartoons because Iraq is still shitty and there's only so many things to say about that.
Yeah, we've been a decade doing cartoons and talking about how that's like Iraq. So yeah, check our archive.
It's really stressful on us.
Like the what?
It's really stressful on us. They need to get it together over there.
Yeah, we need to invade new countries so we can draw new cartoons about that.
Don't worry, I'm sure we will soon.
All right, what are you working on for next week?
Oh, well, I have all sorts of ideas. I still have a Redskins idea that I'm trying to find time to do, and then
it's almost the preseason for football, so like that should be wrapping up again soon.
See, this is why I'm glad I have you in my corner. You can tell me when a certain sports ball.
I like how I'm the jock of editorial cartoonists. I'm 5'3" and I weigh 130 pounds, and I'm the sports expert.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the World Cup. I mean, I don't hate on it, but I just I see people talking about it online all the time. I don't know. I mean,
it's a fun diversion. It's much better than reading terrible news out of Iraq. That's the only reason why I like it.
Yeah, I mean, why does everybody like soccer so much? I've never heard any Americans talk about soccer, and now they're all about it.
It's the fun sport. I have some friends who follow the English Premier League and stuff like that.
I guess it's like the Olympics when you suddenly care about ski jumping every 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's more of a game to it, and they do play it year round if you pay attention to the leagues in Europe and other countries.
Cool. I need to.
That is my ringing endorsement of soccer. That's about as ringing as it'll get, unless like USA beats Germany tomorrow, and then
they get to the round of 16, and then I'll be nuts.
How many teams are left?
It's still the original 32. They're in the group stage. Blah blah blah. I'm sure most people watching this are just like you. And but yeah,
I think most people watching seem to know about it because all I see is people talking about the World Cup. I feel like an idiot because I don't. I'm just like I'm too busy to watch the game. Sorry.
I have been reading the Supreme Court decisions as they've been trickling out all week too. But that's not as interesting or as easy to follow as kicking a ball back and forth.
Yeah. Cool. Well, so until next week, when Iraq will still be shitty and the World Cup will still be happening.
But maybe more states will end their bans on gay marriage.
Oh yeah.
When it reaches 25, that might be a minor milestone for that. All right. Till next week, everybody.
Later.